Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a James Sinclair puzzle today, which is always pretty much a guarantee of great fun. James creates this artisanal Sudoku newsletter that can be readily accessed online, and his puzzles, he's got a lot of experience now, and his puzzles are always fantastic. There's always something really interestingly special about them. So I'm looking forward to today's. It's a killer arrow Sudoku. We have apps that feature killer Sudoku and arrow Sudoku and 7 or 8 other apps which are fantastic, including genuinely approachable Sudoku, etc. Do check those out on the links under the video. There are some puzzles in our apps by James, and the puzzles are of a very high standard, I have to say. So very good value for money. And talking of good value for money, Patreon is only $2 or $3 a month to support the channel and get loads of extra content there, including the monthly rewards. So do check that out. June's by Blobs. July is going to be Pause, isn't it? Yeah. So very approachable stuff, and we highly recommend joining our Patreon. We would. We also would like to mention our merchandise and Sven SUDOKU PAD, but you can check it all out on the links under the video, along with Discord and the catalogue of all our puzzles maintained by the marvellous Vebby, and loads of good stuff there. So that's all on the links. Now, the first link is to this puzzle, Split Decision by James Sinclair. I'm adopting a boxing announcer voice there for the split decision puzzle. Now, what are the rules? Normal Sudoku rules apply. So we're going to try and put 1 to 9 in every row, every column, I'm trying to highlight a column, and every 3 by 3 box, like so. The sum of the digits in each cage is given. So those 3 add up to 21. Those 5 add up to 29, and etc. The colours don't matter. I think that's James either just highlighting the separate types or sizes of cage for us, or even just helping us. We will find out. The sum of the digits along an arrow is equal to the digit in the connected circle. So those 2 cells add up to the number there. These 3 cells add up to the number there, and you could have a repeat digit between that one and that one, for instance. So check it all out on the first link under the video. Try the puzzle yourself. I do urge you to give it a go. James is normally very fair. If the video length ends up over half an hour, then I've either made a bad mistake somewhere, or it's a harder than usual James Sinclair puzzle. And you'll be able to check that instantly, whereas I won't know for about half an hour. Now, sorry, I accidentally hit the stop button instead of the restart the clock button. Let's get cracking. I don't know if I cut myself off saying let's get cracking last time. I probably did. Anyway, hopefully I remembered to stitch the 2 bits of video together. Now, such a numpty sometimes. Where do we start? Right, we start in the boxes 1, 5 and 9, because you deserve, you're my favourite person watching this video, and you deserve to know an important secret about Sudoku, which I will share with you now. Every row, column and box in a Sudoku adds up to the same number, and we always know that number because the digits 1 to 9 have to appear by rule in every row, column and box. And they always add up to 45. That is the 9th triangular number. So box 1 adds up to 45, box 5 adds up to 45, and box 9 adds up to 45. Now, why I'm particularly interested in that is because we can deduct 29 from the box total, and then these 2 arrow contents add up to 16, and that, you will notice, applies to all the arrows in these boxes. So in each box, the yellow cells add up to 16. Now, what does that mean for the circles? Well, be careful here. It's very tempting to write 7 and 9 as a pair, because when we have a killer Sudoku and we see a cage adding up to 16 in 2 cells, it's always 7, 9. But that is because those cells cannot contain repeats. Here they could. So we've either got a 7, 9 pair in each of these pairs leading to yellow, in each of these circles leading to yellow cells, or an 8, 8 pair. I don't think there's a way of resolving that straight away, so I'm going to try and use it somehow. Now, high digits are under pressure in this puzzle. This 21 cage, there are three ways to form it. 489, 579, or 678. Now, I think the interesting thing about those, or what I'm going to say is the interesting thing about those three cage makeups, is that they always contain two of the three highest digits. So 489 has 89, 579 has 79, 678 has 78. And I think these high digits are under pressure in this puzzle. Obviously, these circles, let's make them orange, they all contain one of these three high digits. Now, this cage contains two of them. It is actually exactly two. Now, if it contained them here, then none of these three cells could be 7, 8, or 9. And I think the 29 cages probably have to contain at least two of 7, 8, 9. If they didn't, if they were 9, 6, 5, 4, 3, that's as high as they could be and only have one of those numbers in, that would add up to 27, which is not as big as 29. So each of these blue pentominos with a 29 in has at least two of those high digits in. It could have all three. But if that was all three, then the two very high digits in the T29 cage up here would be there and there. Then we would have a set of 3 in column 1. Then this 20 cage, that is not quite as powerful as the 21, but it would have to have a high digit here. And in fact, the two cells in column 1 would have to be a 5, 6, and that would be a 9 in the circle. I suppose it does still just hang together. Now the another possibility for the two high digits in the 21 cage is for them to be there, making 3 high digits in the column. So the 29 cage's 2 super high digits have to be there, with the third one there. And again in this situation, we can place the super high digit in the 20 cage. And then there's only room for 1 in these cells, so there must be 1 in one of these two. I don't know, it looks like it falters and fails, but it doesn't quite. And I'm not quite sure what I am proving. I think I was expecting to prove that the super high digits in the 21 cage are there and there. I haven't quite managed that, so I might be on the wrong track. Now, with arrows that look like this, we do sometimes have to consider set theory. But there aren't many repeated instances of arrows that look like this, I mean that go diagonally out of their circles. I'm not going to do that yet. Oh, where does 9 go? In boxes 1, 5 and 9, 9 never goes on an arrow. 9's always in the 29 cage. Therefore, in each of these boxes, 9 has to be in the big cage. I hadn't seen that before. So 9's either on this vertical strut or in this horizontal row. Oh, no. This is much simpler. Oh, I like this. This is good. Right. If I said this could be an 8-8 pair, remember these yellows add up to 16 in the cage, and I claimed that the oranges for each box could be an 8-8 pair. But look, if you put 8s in those cells, where does 8 go in box 9? It can't go on its own arrow, and these two positions rule out all of those cells. So these are not an 8-8 pair, and I expect we can do the same for all the oranges. Well, we certainly can for box 1, where the T shape is exactly the same. I don't think we can do that for box 5. Yeah, that's interesting. If these two were 8s, where does 8 go in the box? Right in smack dab in the middle. Now that's really interesting. The alternative here is that these two are a 7-9 pair, and that gives us 7-9 pairs in columns 4 and 6, which is a sort of double X-wing, putting 7 and 9 in these cells. And where can 9 go? Only there. So either this is an 8-8 pair putting 8 here, or this is a 7-9 pair putting 9 here, and the central digit is either 8 or 9. That's really intriguing. I'm not sure it's even going to help, but it's definitely true. I don't know what it means. Okay, where does 7 go in these boxes? I have a feeling no, I don't know. I thought it was always going to be on an arrow, but I'm not sure I can establish why that must be. Okay, I probably have to establish something around the 21 cage, and can I make these into either the same digit, these two cells I've got highlighted, into either the same representative of 7-9 or different ones? Right, let's say this was a 9. Then the 21 cage needs, well, it doesn't need a 9. If it had a 9, it would be there. Then there'd be a 9 here. No, I don't know. That's not working. One of these is a 9. Right, and one is a 7. So I'm going to get rid of the yellow cells. I'm going to highlight some different cells where this cell sees both of that 7 and 9. So does this one. So these cells I'm highlighting cannot be 7 or 9. That applies to this pair as well. I think this might go further within these T's. So if that's a 9, remember one of these two is a 9. If that's a 9, there's a 9 in one of those two cells because the 29 cage has to have the 9 in it in the box. But, so either there's a 9 in one of those two cells or a 9 there. So 9 is in one of those 3 cells. That must apply down here as well because it's symmetrically equivalent. And that means 9 can never be in these two cells. So if this 21 cage is either 489 or 759, then 9 must be sitting here. So if that's a 9, 9's there, and that can't be 9, so that is 9. And then these two are the same digit. Oh, but this depends on the 21 cage having a 9 in it, which it doesn't have to. Oh, bother. Okay, that was all fraudulent nonsense. Oh, hang on. If that's a 9, 9 in this box is in one of those two cells, in box 9. Oh, that's very interesting. Right. So if that's a 9, 9 in box 9 is in one of those two cells. If that's a 9, obviously this cell is a 9. So in column 9, the 9 has to be in one of those 3 cells. Now, I'm not embarrassed about pencil marking across boxes, both in that case and in that case, because actually what I've ended up with is the 4 possible places 9 can go in box 9. So that's fine. But this is very important for this cage, because now 9 can't go in either of those cells because it's in one of these 3 in column 9. And we know 9's in one of those 3, so it's not in these 2 cells. So this purple 21 cage does not have a 9 in and is an 876 cage. Symmetry, 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 symmetry is my friend. If that's not a 9, that is. And if that is a 9, one of those two is a 9. So again, we have the same situation. One of those 3 is a 9, just as one of those 3 was a 9. Now this 20 cage can't have a 9 in, and I know this of old in Killer Sudoku. If you have a 20 cage in 3 cells that are all different without a 9 in, they are 5, 7, 8. Now I can't rule 5 out of that, because you could have 1, 3, 1, for instance, here. A repeat digit will allow that 5 to work. So I'm going to be careful about that. Now where are we? It feels like a rotating wheel, this puzzle now. What breaks the symmetry? I tell you what breaks the symmetry of this. It's the 20 cage versus a 21 cage. That's fascinating. I mean, it's always an interesting question. I often get to it very late in a solve, like now. And why it's interesting is something must break the symmetry, otherwise there would be 2 possible solutions. If a puzzle was perfectly entirely symmetric, you could rotate it around 180 degrees and put the digits in, like rotate the shapes around and leave the digits behind. And that would be a second solution. Anyway, it doesn't apply. Because 20 versus 21. Now, come on, this must have told me something. Ah, right, I was getting fixated on what happens to 9 here, and can we tell that these two aren't both 9? I should be doing it for 7, because now these 2 purple cages both have to have a 7 in. So, if this is 7, that's 7, then that's not 7, and that's 7. So either these 2 are 7, or alternatively, that is 7, that's not 7. Sorry, that is 7, then that's not 7, so that is 7, because of the 7-9 pairing here. And this is utterly beautiful. Why is that beautiful? This is extraordinary. This is James Sinclair at his utter finest. I'll just pause the video for a moment. Think about why it matters. And I'll explain that what matters is that these 2 are going to be the same. If those are 7s, these are 9s. And if that's a 7, this is a 7. These 2 cells, given a red flash, are going to be the same digit, either 7 or 9. Have a think about why that matters. And now I'll tell you why I believe it matters. I believe it matters because it means that one of these cells, if both of them are 7, neither of these cells can be 7. And if both of these red flashed cells are 9, neither of these cells can be 9. And that's important because for this not to be a pair of 8s, they're 1 7 and 1 9, making up 16 to equal those arrows. And now that is no longer possible because these are the same. Isn't that incredible? I'm blown away. That is wonderful. I really, really, really hope that's on the intended solve path because it's so gorgeous. This can't be a 7-9 pair now, and that's a pair of 8s. This is not James Sinclair's normal level of difficulty. What am I, 15 minutes into the puzzle, I get my first digit, but I get my first 3 digits at least. That is not the same as it taking 5 minutes to find your first digit. Now, I hope those 8s are going to help, and I'm not sure how they're going to, but I believe they are because that is so elegant, it's gorgeous. Now let me see why does this matter? Nine and 7. No, 9 is going to be okay, let's colour, because reds are the same. These are the other colour. They're greens. They're the same as each other. So whatever digit that is in one of these 2 cells by a form of Sudoku. 9 is always, no, 9 could, yeah. These 2 cells, I coloured them yellow earlier because they can't be 7 or 9. So 9 is always in one of these 2 cells in the middle box. Now, does that mean these are 9s? I suspect it does because otherwise that's a 9, 8, 7 pair. Then these have to add up to 6, and they have to... 4 is in this cage. I hadn't noticed that until now, because it can't be on either of these arrows because it would need another 4. So this cage could be 9, 8, 7, 4, 3. No, I've miscounted, sorry. 9, 8, 7, 4 adds up to 28. 9, 8, 7, 4, 1. And then the arrows would be a 2, 6 pair and a 3, 5 pair. That's fine. Now, come on. It's very annoying that I still don't know which of these colours is 9 and which is 7. I feel I should do. So if this was 7, that's a 7 and that's a 7. If this is 9, there's a 9 here. 9 is less powerful. 7 has become the powerful digit. That's really strange. Right, if that's a 7... What do we learn? That's a 7. That's a 7. That's a 7. Then there can't be a 7 in the T cage in box 1. Or indeed the one in box 9. So 7 in both cases is going to end up on the 9 arrow. With a 2. That's certainly possible. I might be on the point of concluding that 8 is always in those T-shaped 29 cages. Because if the arrows here need to have a 7-2 pair on, yeah, they do, because one of them, we've got enough 7s pencil marked, surely, that one of those is a 7. And one of those is a 7. Let me just check that. For none of those to be a 7, that would be a 7, and that would be a 7. And that makes that a 7, and that is impossible. Right. I don't think 7 now can ever be in these T-shaped gauges, because we would run out of being able to mark 7s elsewhere in the grid. Therefore, 7 is not in those, but they need 2 high digits. They can have 9, in fact they must, but now they must have 8 as well. I don't know if that really helps. I feel it ought to. Those can't be 8. There's a sort of X-wing there and there, but that doesn't actually do much. Oh, I'm missing the point a bit still. That's very irritating. Okay, let's think about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as the big digits. 3 of them are there, 2 of them are here. 3 of them are there, 2 of them are here. So then this overlap must be one of them. Probably. Let's try that being 8. I suspect it can't be. That would put 8 there and 8 there. And then that would rule 8 out of this whole cage where we've proved it must go. So that's impossible. So that can't be 8. And by the same token, that yellow cell can't be 8. So these yellow cells aren't 8 either. And they're not 9 or 7. So they're lower digits. Not inferior, just lower. Now, for one of those not to be 8, that's 8. If one of those is 8, that's 8. So the only 2 places for 8 in the bottom row are in the corners. That's the same up here, where one of those is 8 and one of those is 8. Well, you can only have 1 in row 2, so 1 is in a corner. So 2 of the corners of this puzzle are 8s. which is quite weird and surprising that we should be able to determine that at this point. And I don't know if it helps, but it's true. Okay, which way round is it unlikely for 9s to be? Because I must be able to prove that. Oh, look, of course, there's a 9 in one of those cells, so these can't both be 9s. There, simple. It's been available for ages. They're 7s. Perfect. Right, that's a 7. That's a 9. Yes, of course, these greens are 9s. Okay, that's dealt with the colouring. So let's get rid of, well, that colouring. Let's get rid of green and red. And that's a 7. So this is a 6-8 pair. Now we know where 8 goes in this box. It's in the corner. Now we know 8's going to be in the other corner because we put 8 there, and now 8 can't be in these cells. 8's in this corner. This is not a 9, that's not a 9. 9 is definitely in one of these cells and one of these. And no 8 there. This is a 5-7 pair. That pair is a 2-6 pair because it can't be 5-3 or 7-1. This pair is not 2-5 or 6-1. It's 3-4. Oh, we can fill in lots of these arrows. We need 7 in this box. It's on that arrow. We need 7 in this box. It's on that arrow. 6, 8. Something can be determined up here, I'm sure. I don't know what it is. 1, 9 is there. 1, 5 and 6 to place in this box along with the 9. Come on, keep on a roll. Don't let this roll go. There's a 2 in one of those cells because of the 2-7 pair there and a 2-6 pair there. And that 7 has sorted out this 5-7 pair. Oh yes, and 8 in the corner has sorted out this 6-8 pair. Look, I've ended up with 8 in both of those circles. This one is now a 3-5 pair because it can't use 7 or 6. These are from 1, 3, 4, 9. Oh look, across the bottom I have a 1, 5, 9 triple. Those now can't have 3 or 5 in. They are a 1, 6 pair. And this is a 2, 4, 9 triple. 5 is in one of those along with 9 now because we've got that 5. Sorry, I was just trying to get rid of those. Now that's a 4, 3 pair. This is a 1, 2, 6 set, but we can't have 2, 6 on the arrow or we'd be busting the 8 as soon as we added something there. So 1 is on the arrow and not there. Actually, look, there's a 2, 6 pair looking at that cell. So that's the 1. This is 2 or 6, and this is 5 or 1. It can be a repeat, so we don't know yet what it is. This is a 3, 4, 9 triple, in which the 9 can't be in row 8. 9 is here along with 6. Yes, this is very similar, analogous situation. 9, 6 there. Then I can write in 1, 5 here. This is 2, 3, 4, but that's a little bit more variable. 3 is looking at that digit, so that's 2 or 4. Now, this could be a 2, 4 pair making that a 2. A 3, 4 pair making that a 1, or a 2, 3 pair. It can't be that making that a 3, so that is 1 or 2. Why can't it be a 2, 3 pair with a 3 there? Because the 3 repeat would both be in box 5 now. 6, box 6 that is. That is a 1 or a 2. 7, 8, 6, 3, 5. 2, 4, 9, 7, 8. One of these is a, this is a 6, 5 pair. Because we've got a 5, 9 there and a 6 there. So this is a 1, 3 pair. That resolves Mr. Yellow over here. Can I do the same down here? 1, 5, 9, 8, 7. There's a 6 here and whatever that is. That's not quite the same down here. Interesting. 2, 7 pair is looking at that cell. I hadn't seen that before. That's quite big and bold. That can't be a 2, 2 pair now, so that is 3 and 1, that's a 2. Now we can fix this over here. I hope this is going to work on the arrow. It does. This arrow adds up to the right number. All our arrows are populated. No, not these ones. Not quite yet. but I think we're getting there. Where's 7 in the middle box? It's in one of those cells. So they must go with a 1, whichever one is a 7. So 1 is in the corner there somewhere. That's a naked 2 in the row, or rather an I-wing. Then I can place 1 and 9. Something here must be fixed. The 2 is, and the 9. And I still can't do the 3-5 pair. That's quite surprising. Over this side, I've got that 8. Is this not known? I think I'm missing something here. These are from 2, 3, 4. And these are from 3, 4, 6. I don't quite know what's going on. These are from 3, 4, 9. Ah, 7 in the middle row is right there. That's going to help. Right. That disambiguates 7, 2, which does 2, 6. 6, I said, which does 1, 6. And that trail runs cold at that point. 8, 1, 2. This is a naked 4 because it sees 9 and 3 in its box. This is now a 9, 3 pair. And now 3 doesn't appear on these arrows, which are a 2, 6 pair, which can't be down here and is therefore up here, and a 7, 1 pair, which we know is down here. And these corners, these yellow corners, are a 4, 5 pair. I think we can get rid of the yellow in the puzzle as well now. We proved early on that none of those yellows would be 7, 8 or 9, and that has continued to be true. Right, there's a... do I do those boxes or do I do the central? I do the central column, I think. 7, 8. There might be a triple or something emerging. No, hang on. Let's get rid of 1 from there. I don't know. I feel these central columns are the way to go. Columns 4, 5, 6. But I'm not sure how to use them. So that could be wrong. Okay, maybe I go back to... Oh look, 7 in this box has only got 1 position, so it's there. That is a 5. It's a naked 5 now. That's going to sort out the 3, 5 pair and therefore the 3, 4 pair. This is now a 6, 8 pair. We know the order because of the 2, 6 pair going on here. That sorts out 4 and 5, and I bet I can apply those up columns 4 and 6 at least. Well, I can certainly do this one. That can't be 4. That must be the 4 in box 8 now. Must be. And that's become a 3, 6 pair, so that's a 2. And there's no 3 there. And there is a 3 there. And I wanted to say that's going to resolve these. They are resolved by a 5 I got ages ago. Okay, we're on track now. 8 and 4 here. Can I finish this box? I must be able to. 3 and a 1. Now it's these central columns, isn't it? Because we've done columns 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. That's a 9. Let's keep going up column 4. We get a 3, and we must know the number at the top. It's a... Oh no. I want to put a 2 in there, but none of my candidates can go here. I have now done something wrong. Oh no, 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 no. This is painfully, painfully rubbish. I've definitely done something wrong. I wonder how long ago it was. It all felt like it was going fine. Can I stop here with columns 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9 done? And redo my thinking here. 9, 3, 2. But that's going to force 9 there. Something is already wrong at this point. Which arrow have I misadded up? Oh, come on. How can it have gone wrong here? Let's go back a bit. Back up. Okay, I decided that had to be a 7. I thought this point was fine. That had to be a 7. This became... This is a naked 5. That's okay. That sorts out 3, 5 and 3, 4. My 6, 8 pair is now resolved. If I've done this right, and I probably haven't, the 4, 5 pair is done. Ah, look, there's the error. Did I not correct that 4? I didn't. That's the error. That's meant to be a 5. I think that's just mistyping. I mean, it's hardly an excuse for being a bit of a div, but there we go. Bit of a nincompoop today, I'm afraid, but we've found the error. We've corrected the error, so please forgive me. I beg of you. And I think this is probably going to work now because it was all flowing so beautifully. You just get a feeling when it's right. And I think it was right, apart from the slip of the keyboard there. Now, this column, let's have another go at it. 9, 3. I think we're okay there. Now I start here in row 1 with a 2 there. Then I can put in 9 and 4, and now we're okay. We must be okay. This is 1 here, yes, 5, 1, 3, and we are going to finish off successfully. So just one slip of the keyboard, and what a brilliant puzzle, and it is over half an hour. So one of James's harder ones, but only a bit, and absolute elegance throughout. I mean, as elegant as a swelligant elephant. Absolutely brilliant. As elegant as an intelligent elephant. That would be a cleverer phrase. And a wonderful puzzle. Split decision. And my decision is not split. That is unanimously brilliant. Thank you, James. Lovely puzzle. Thank you for letting me do it. And hope to see you guys again on the channel soon. Bye for now.